Alright.
Are we up?
Yep, we're up.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Welcome back to Surrender Lab. Tonight is COZSNUG night. And here we are in our group. Very cozy.
Where's that microphone in? Are you talking loud enough for
talking
everybody?
into that. Yeah, I can hear me. Very COZSNUG environment here. Look how cozy this is. Oh my gosh.
More showing up here soon.
Yep, more people are going to show up soon. You know, this is a pretty long stream tonight. We have right behind this, we have Kelly setting up a bunch of music equipment.
Let's show it. Go ahead and keep telling us.
Oh, no, he's always smart. And we're going to
check out all this cool stuff.
Really cool stuff. Great stuff. First, you know, we're going to hang out. We're going to do our thing, and we're going to ask some questions to each other. But, you know, there's no rush. We're just chilling. It's really just all about environment and just hanging out with your people, you know, with the good people around you.
Ashton's really nice and calming voice. It's alright, everybody. This is really chill.
So calm.
So chill, but it's alright, right?
Cucumber.
Oh, but you are. No, we're not. We're using the. Well, we actually couldn't figure it out, so he's using that mic for tonight.
I got you.
Thank you, Kelly. All right, did we pick out a question yet that we wanted?
Oh, that's up right now.
I don't have all of them. I only have 8 through 15. For some reason, I don't know where my other picture went of the other half.
Look at how lazy we all are right now.
I know.
I've had so much energy lately. All of a sudden, what happened? So I have to make a confession here, everybody. I overheated myself today, pretty intensively. I was just in the hot tub a little bit ago, and whoo-wee! Like about 3 minutes in, don't have enough water in me. Probably ought to get out and go get some. I'll just stay in another minute or two, maybe 12 minutes in. I'm like, can I get out of the tub? Wow, my body's slow. And I had a doozy just a minute ago. So that's part of the reason. It's part of my fault that we're getting started late, because I was just so lazy and waking up.
Got a long thing ahead of us.
Yeah.
And people are showing up later anyway, so we just have been feeling out rushed. That's okay.
So did we pick out a you have it in the bank?
Well, I have a couple.
Okay.
I'm having Mandy read through the notebook to see if she wants to.
I only have 8 through 15. Or 16. Do you have the first?
Yeah,
That's fine. We only usually go through one
Right.
or two, depending on how many of
We've
us
gone
are.
through a lot of these that I already have.
Oh.
If send me the Google Doc, but I don't know where those actually go.
Is there any of them that are on that list that we could work? Here, we can just come up with a question. It's really easy.
Yeah.
It's just, hey, what's a question that would empower everything? We're just trying to find out what each other's stories are.
Yeah.
So we've asked each other, hey, what are some of the heartbreaks you had in life? Or what's some of the challenges you've had, and what have you learned from it? And what makes you float? You know, kind of like what made you feel most proud of yourself? So just those kind of questions. Does anybody have a question that comes to mind before we? What would you like to know about me, Mandy, or anyone else in this room?
I've seen a few that I really like. I want to know what is something that you've always wanted to do but never had the chance to. Yet to have the chance or to know.
Something that you haven't had yet had a chance to do.
Yeah.
So something that you really hope to be able to do that you haven't had a chance to do.
Yes. If
This
you
is
could
good,
go,
right?
if you could go tomorrow and go and do something anywhere in the world, what would it be?
Mine came to mind.
I know exactly what mine is.
I want Mandy to say it. Go ahead. This is fun.
I would go somewhere. I would go on a safari tomorrow. Like if I could go and do any one activity, I would go and I want to go see those animals in their environment so bad.
What is
what I
it
would
about?
go
What
do.
is it about it? What does it do for you when you're there?
I hate to see these animals so in captivity, and I think that they would be totally different. They would be so cool to be able to observe in their natural habitat.
Nice.
Would be really neat, but it's always been a dream, and someday I'm gonna do it. Yeah,
Yes, I love
Yeah.
this.
That's cool.
yeah,
You're a nature lover and an animal lover.
I am.
I love that.
I am.
What else? Anything else? Okay, while you're there, what kind
I
of
would
things
go
are you
see-
doing?
What?
What kinds of other things do you have on this vacation?
I haven't
Or this
thought,
safari,
I
whatever you
haven't
call
thought past it. They're just key activities that I've always dreamed of doing. I've
Gotcha.
dreamt of seeing the whales in Alaska and the bears somehow, and the northern lights. Like, have we ever seen the northern lights?
Yeah.
You have seen them?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I used to live in Alaska.
I don't know how to find them. Like where to go and when.
We've had them here before, a little tiny bit.
Really?
Yeah. But that you can. There's time you can actually look it up and see when you can go get a cool view. Like in lots of different places.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I want to hear yours.
Mine, I don't have them that good yet.
You don't.
I was just gonna say that I want to go to one of them. I'll just say it. Well, it is good enough. Oh my, because I've been dreaming about this for a long time. I want to go to Japan.
Oh,
I want to go to Japan and bathe in the honor of intentionality and go to the gardens and go to them. I mean, I want to just go see all the things, but I want to have like a local experience. Like I want to have somebody who's like already transcended the culture who can walk me through that and say, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. Can you see how? And I want to go and I want to learn Japan in like a visit. You know, like I want to learn it from somebody who just knows how to hyper teach and I can hyper learn.
yeah. That would be so cool.
That's an attraction. I've always been naturally very enamored with Japanese technology. It just always seemed a little bit of a higher quality to me. It was just my own thing growing up.
I can imagine you get off the airplane and it feels like you're on a different planet. Like from when you got on the airplane, like I can imagine it just feels like you're in a different world.
I knew
Like, it's so different.
I knew a guy. He went on his Mormon mission down to. Well, he went. I don't remember where did he go. He was basically this big, huge, tall, 6'8" blonde guy, big, serving amongst a whole bunch of the Chinese. So he like standing there, and they're all like, all I can see is the tops of heads everywhere, and they're all black heads.
Wow, yeah.
He said my view was always like just looking down at a bunch of discs.
Yeah.
Like,
It's hilarious. So funny. Where would you go, Ashton? What would you do?
I would really like to go to Hawaii because I want to go surf really good waves.
we've been talking about this.
So
I was down
It's
there
hard
for a while.
because
It's
we
like
want
the lifelong dream I've had to surf some really big waves. I really want to take a trip down to Hawaii and just be a beach bum for a little bit.
Oh my gosh, you'd be in heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah. We may never see you again.
It changed my life. Never around.
Really cool.
Oh, Cam's upstairs too.
There's someone here.
Yeah, Cam's upstairs.
Okay.
All right. Come on in. We're downstairs.
What have you guys tried to?
Well, for me, it's kind of really obscure and like very niche, but I wouldn't mind going to The Hague in the Netherlands. I think it's in the Netherlands. It's yeah, it's something to do with like international law stuff.
And so you wanted to go and hang out there all
Yeah,
day long?
if-
All week? What?
Yeah, I would like to go and check out their law library. I'm sure they have one.
The law library. Okay.
Yeah, some go and check out some things and see if I can find
Is
some
that
stuff
not
on
all?
self-determination.
Uploaded online at this point?
It might be, but I don't have the money to access it because a lot of it's behind paywalls because it's academic
really?
stuff.
Oh, okay.
And academics, since the internet got popular, they've behind paywalls. Oh, you have to pay out the ass to get this. I watch a guy on YouTube. His name's Esoterica, and he makes fun all the time of, I think, Springer or something, some company, because their books are $300+. I don't know, maybe. So.
Oh yeah, well that's beautiful. And Kim, and this is Crystal.
Hey, I'm Crystal.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Hi.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hi.
we have a double hug. All right. Nice to meet you. Come on in. Have a seat where you feel comfortable. What's up, man?
Close your rainbow.
Oh, thank you.
We gotta turn this light on. It'll be better for
Hello,
the.
how are you? Oh, careful.
That one's out.
It's good to see you again.
Hello, I'm Crystal.
Hello. Brandy.
Brandy.
Hi. Cam, nice to meet you. My name's Mandy. What was your name?
Crystal.
Crystal.
I'm Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
Hello.
Ashley.
Ashton, nice.
You know how to turn this light on, anybody? Randy, do you know how this one turns on?
It doesn't. It's broken.
Oh, nice. Hey.
That one and the one in the bathroom. I don't think are working any longer.
So I didn't get to the rest of the questions, but
So we were just barely getting started. You guys aren't late at all, really.
alright.
That makes you feel better.
Yes.
Nice. No stress at all. No, if people come in late all the time. Whatever.
What's late?
No, there's
What's
no late.
late?
What's late? It's always kind of right now-ish.
We try to start at 7:30. If we had an audience following us online, is when we try to go live.
We are live right now, though, so you guys walked in on us live. So
Oh,
every single part of your entry was
Don't you love it?
recorded.
Don't you love it?
should be a light.
What?
Should be a light.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so Mandy, do you want to give them a heads up on what we're doing?
On what we're
Crystal,
doing?
'cause they- Huh?
On what we're doing.
Yeah, because you're the one that gave us such a beautiful thing to talk about.
We were talking about things that we've always dreamt of going and doing. Like if there's anything that jumps out at you. Like if you could go somewhere tomorrow and do something, what would it be? Like mine was a safari. I would go on a safari and I would see the lions and the giraffes and the hippos and the elephants. See the elephants.
And mine was I wanted to go to Japan and just visit all and just bask and just honor all the intentionality that I've always respected so much my whole life. And asking us to go to.
Why you go surf giant waves. That's one to do that since I prefer swimming in the ocean.
You might need to talk a tiny bit louder, Ashton, because I don't.
Oh yeah, I should have.
Good. Yeah, that's like
You would go where?
The moon.
The moon!
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That would be cool.
I dig it.
I probably would turn down a trip to the moon.
How about what was the Brian Regan where he talked about yeah. Oh yeah, that one. Something about lunar rover. There's a Brian Regan lunar rover clip that made me laugh so hard.
I love Brian Regan. He's
Walking
so
on the
funny.
moon. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, don't mind me. I was just walking on the moon. Yeah, he's talking about one up and everybody. It's like it's like, oh yeah, I was just cruising across the moon in my lunar rover.
Is that the catch line
Here's
of that joke?
No, it was sorry. It was
I think
he was
didn't
talking
get
about.
any of that.
I'm so sorry. It was so weak.
He is so funny though.
I don't know who that is.
Oh my
yeah, I don't even.
Brian.
He's one of my favorite.
Are you telling a joke or what are you telling?
I
a
was
story?
trying to remind everybody of Brian Regan. Yeah.
I'm trying to turn my phone off and it literally won't let me turn it off. And I'm like, are they just taking over now?
Mine did that. Mine did that
Like,
too.
I know I
couldn't
never
power
turned
it
this
down.
phone off. And now it's
Settings. You might have to go into settings to.
on. Thanks.
Mine froze up and I couldn't power
Throw
it.
it in the lake.
Shouldn't they throw all phones in a lake?
I don't know.
We could be cool about it.
I was on my trip to Florida and I fell in the water with my phone. And then 2 days later, I was alone in a Cheesecake Factory in southern Florida and it started to break. And I had to write down all of my information on the napkins, like where I was checking into my Airbnb, like what the code was to get in, like directions to the nearest Verizon, like, and I didn't realize, like, sometimes these things, like, make you realize how tied to your phone you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the way I feel like I can't go and do anything without it. It's like, you know.
I think I'm gonna practice more. Thank you, Mandy. Not having my phone on me.
Yeah.
I've done it a lot, and people probably don't want to hear me say that because I've been doing that way too much. But it's so attractive to not having technology on me.
Yeah.
It happens so fast, you know, it went from like phones were a luxury to almost a necessity.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what it, like I can like know my way around the city once I know it, but really I just plug in directions the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So
We kind of become reliant on them a little bit, right?
map?
Maybe we become reliant upon our technology. Our technology makes it so life is easier for us. So we don't have to look up a map
You
anymore.
don't
We
have to think, use
just
your
effortlessly just get navigated there.
Yeah.
Instead of having to like put forth the work like we used to back in the day, like, oh, do we have a map of the city? Well, we're gonna go get that map.
Mm-hmm.
And then we gotta like study the map and find out where the. Did you find the page on it? Where is Solomon Street? Look right there.
Mm-hmm.
I think having a phone is the biggest burden. I hate having the responsibility of having a phone. I hate that it has everything on there for me. And I hate when I lose it. I need it. And I hate that I need to have it to go somewhere. Even if it's just to work. I have to use it for work. That drives me crazy. I don't want it.
It's like a pet you don't want.
It's not even a pet. It's just annoying. It's just something I have to carry around in my pocket.
It's like something when you're not hungry and you haven't eaten in a while and just like nothing sounds good and you're like, I don't want to just try to have to nutrition myself right now. But I want to nutrition myself. I have constantly every day now, just like with the maximum amount of. That's something on my mind big time right now is how to do that. Let's keep going on the questions though. On the same question because we were just on that roll. Brandon, did you share yours yet?
Mm-mm.
Do you want to right now?
I would like to travel the world. I think that's always been my dream, is to visit different cultures and countries. And the farthest out of the U.S. I've been is the Caribbean, on cruises. Or St. Martin. I went to St. Martin, not on a cruise, and spent 3 weeks there, and that was nice. But I want to travel like Europe and Ireland and Australia, England. I want to see the old castles, old places. I've been there before
Like Scotland.
America was even found. Like these old structures that they still have that are
You go sleep in them.
hundreds of thousands years old. I want to experience those cultures and
Well, not hundreds of thousands. The castles.
maybe
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
thousands.
Go back me
Maybe not
tappy.
hundreds
Let's
of
go.
thousands.
Thousands. I think it's
But,
It's amazing what's out there.
yeah.
It's
And
so
I would love to
exciting.
jump out of a helicopter, jump out of a plane.
Oh, really?
I've always wanted to do that.
I
And I've told you
know,
that
I know
several
this, I
times.
know this.
Like,
But
if
I
this
never
was the
heard
first
you
time
really
you've
get.
heard-
I never heard you proactively say that lately in a long time.
Well,
So yes, we
lately
need to make that
it hasn't
happen
felt
right
like
away.
that.
That's a big one. Did you finally get brave enough to jump out of a plane? Have you guys done that?
Not yet.
Has anybody done that?
I would do that.
Have you done it, Kelly?
I will. I have a
Nobody
phobia
else
of
has,
heights.
nobody's done that
I
here?
am scared of heights.
Oh.
But I would
That's
do
the
that.
best part.
I would do that.
You know what
I
I
would
really
do
want
that
to do
because-
is bungee jump.
It's not like you're attached to a structure and looking down. You're.
Yeah.
That's why I don't think the heights thing would bother me. You're not like up on a 100-foot tower looking down.
Yeah.
That's what's. It's your attachment and being all the way up, which is kind of eerie for me. But you're supposed to be falling. That's the whole fear of being on height.
Which I think
It's
that's
falling.
why.
You're supposed to be falling when you jump out.
I think that's why bungee jumping would be so fun. Is like I can imagine that is so much more terrifying
Ooh.
to do than out of a plane.
Right, I
Because
think
you
so.
hear
too.
about
Bungee
more
jumping,
people
you're at the
Yeah.
bottom.
like
Like,
your head on the bungee jumping.
And you're reliant on a cord.
I just can't imagine
That.
anything more
I don't want that
terrifying.
experience.
So I just want to do it. You know, I just want to do it. Yeah, someday.
Paragliding.
That'd be so
So
fun.
fun.
I don't know.
I have some friends
No,
that
it is so
paraglide.
fun.
You paraglided?
Yeah.
That sounds so fun.
I almost would rather
You're
trust a
hang
parachute.
gliding. Has anybody done hang
I
gliding?
want to do it. I got
My son did hang gliding in Switzerland, and I thought that's cooler than paragliding because paragliding, you're just up there floating around,
Is that
checking
with your
everything
boat?
out.
Is paragliding where you're hooked on a boat?
No. Parasailing.
Oh.
Paragliding, you're just ones you see out here at the corner of the mountain, the ones that we see all the time. Those guys that are all just
Oh.
riding those thermals and
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
It's like a kite.
Yeah.
With
It's
a
like a
chair.
big
With
kite
a
with
motor.
a chair,
The
yeah.
paraglider I went with was not calm. We were like sideways, completely horizontal to the ocean. It was terrifying.
You're not supposed to go in those kind of winds.
Oh, it was awesome. It was the coolest
wow.
thing. We totally did.
I don't know enough about it. I shouldn't say
I don't know either. I just went and I paid for it. And it was so fun.
that is amazing. What else? What else would you kind of go do? What would you do, Cam? Tomorrow.
The moon.
Yeah.
Oh, you already said the moon. What would you? Why would you do the moon?
That's the first thing that came to mind. Yeah, I want to see the whole world too. But not at once.
All of us.
Oh, so you want to see the whole world, just like I want from the moon.
Yeah.
What kind of a little layer do you want to be sitting in on the moon while you have your viewpoint?
In a bubble, perhaps,
Maybe.
of some sort.
Assuming that I need to breathe and
You're already breathing no matter what you're
if
doing.
I'm fine.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. You're breathing.
Oh. No seat.
No seat.
Cushion.
A cushion. You can just sit on.
Yeah.
What a cloud.
Are you
Cloud.
perched?
Full of fluffy
Perched up
kittens that are sparkly.
Are you perched inside of some sort of little cratered out area, or are you like up on high, something high, or
Like a hill.
you're on a hill?
I'm sure there's hills on
Like a little hideout.
And then what would you just sit there and do?
I don't know. Oh yeah.
Watch the earth.
I kind of think I know some of what you would do.
What do you think I'd do?
I don't know for sure, but I just think that you would definitely be looking at the earth and saying, you know what, I can easily hold space for all you right now while I figure out what I want to do. So I'm just going to hold space for everybody on the whole earth for a second while I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do while I'm up here. Probably doing something like that, I don't know.
Maybe.
Because I just feel you and see how much space you hold for everybody. A big, huge ball of love and light. So that's what I would imagine you would do from the moon.
Maybe the moon is a way for me to not have to do that.
Maybe the moon's the escape out of the having to be in the light for a while, just so you can know what it's like to just relax.
Yeah.
So to relax. So it's an actual vacation to the moon.
Temporary. I gotta get back to work.
It's a getaway to the moon. Dude, it would be a good
Imagine
business.
sitting on the moon
A
and
good
saying to
business
yourself,
would be
"I gotta
to
get
have
back to
an
work."
Airbnb on the moon. An Airbnb on the moon would be pretty good business.
It would.
An Airbnb on the moon.
Like the
You can
Uber
get
go
there.
to the moon.
Well, you would, after you had an Airbnb there, you would definitely have an Uber there soon.
Yeah.
An Uber.
That's hilarious.
Uber. It's like
Like a space Uber.
that Airbnb for cars.
Yeah.
You gotta have, like, how you gonna get over there real quick? Well, we got a service for that. Hop in, you can get in the one with 100 people, you can get in the one all by yourself. We got this big old huge luxury pod for you.
So
No,
funny.
that's
We got one where you can just like push a button and just blip over there. Do you
I
wanna
like
do that or do you wanna enjoy the journey?
I mean,
The journey.
what happens?
Oh,
in
and
what happens
Who wouldn't have
in
a big
between?
rocket ship, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
Then you're going through somewhere.
Is it just
Yeah.
a time loop or is there actually something going on?
Don't know until you try. What if they just have a giant like slide? They're gonna have an Uber, they may as well just have like another fun way. Slide. A tube.
A
Some
tube.
people
Just get sucked through it.
Like 5 days long.
Go ahead and just me up to the moon real fast.
So the Earth is spinning though. So does the slide let out like floating above the Earth, or does it just like leave the Earth and then just floating at the moon? You have to time your slide just right.
Yeah, landing space.
Yeah.
Just a giant slide.
Kelly, how's everything going, buddy?
Pretty
You need
good.
any help at all for any single thing at all?
I don't think so. No. Thank you though.
Crystal, what would you do?
Mm,
You can leave tomorrow,
okay. Hmm.
but if you do, everybody that you know dies. Just kidding.
I'll stay.
all dying. I
I'll
hope
stay
you're
for
prepared.
tomorrow.
I hope you guys are prepared to go out my way.
And like, you really don't have to leave tomorrow. Like, I've thought this question to myself 1,000 times. I'm like, I would want to go safari, but not tomorrow. Like, I would want to, I want.
You got a couple things still
Yeah,
to do.
yeah, I got a couple things.
You want to die on a safari, maybe?
I want to, I totally stole you really didn't answer the
I
question.
have no idea where I want to go.
Well, I want to hear your answer.
Well, she doesn't know yet.
I went on some dates with a boy from Kenya, and he was talking
The
about
one
his
I met?
camps.
Super nice guy.
So nice, yeah.
Glasses?
Maybe, yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
What's his name?
But his name's Emmanuel.
Oh man, yeah, I met him.
Yeah.
Beautiful human.
Yeah, he is wonderful. But he was talking about like these camps, like men will go out there with like vans and they'll park their vans in like a triangle and they'll camp in the middle of whatever, this land. And they'll like hear the hyenas all night and like someone will stay awake to like watch everyone and I'm like,
Look at the smile on your face.
I would do it. I would be so terrified and I wouldn't sleep awake, but I would do that. Yeah. Yeah. That's how I'm gonna die someday, is like giving myself to the wrong animal. Just like to go play with them.
Alright,
I think big kitties.
I can be a kitty if you want.
Yeah.
You have to die at the end of this trip.
No.
Does that change?
Nobody ever said that.
No, well, I'm just, it's like, right.
It's already said.
I'm just making sure. Does that change where you choose to go?
Not for me, it wouldn't. I'd still want to travel the world. I could spend.
Yes, it would
I could
change for me.
spend
It would
50
change
more
for me.
years traveling
Yes,
the
that would
world.
big time change for me.
Then I could die.
So you get to choose when you come back. Not till I come back,
I
I'm gonna
wonder
die.
where
Never go back.
Right, not till I come back.
There's loopholes.
Well, I gotta see everything. If I had to see everything, that could
I
take
wish I could have picked the whole world.
You got a long safari ahead of you,
I
girl.
want to change mine.
Mandy, you can't change your thing.
I want to
We
travel the
went
whole world
live
before I
about it.
die.
It's already recorded.
Yeah, I would stay on
You could safari it for another 80 years.
Just live in the safari. Perfect.
Mandy, you're not banished or exiled to the safari.
Oh,
land.
thank goodness.
Alright.
Goodness.
Please reel it back in,
What
girl.
if you got to live
You're okay,
with
you're
the
here.
cats?
Yeah.
Like as one
Oh,
of
I
their
totally
own.
would be like a
Then maybe
Tarzan.
you could die after.
Yeah,
That would be amazing.
I would.
They just took you in like they're redheaded stepchild.
Oh, that'd be so fun for me. Life would be so much
Look at how much fun this setup is that he's got going over here.
Yeah,
I'm so stoked for listening to you, Kel, jamming out. This place is gonna go a little bit tonight.
Cool. That's exciting. Where would you go?
Oh my gosh, I don't like this question.
Or what would you do? What if it was something to do?
I
and
would
not
go underwater, wear a suit and just walk underwater. Or I
Would you
just
go on a
like
submarine to go see the Titanic?
No, I think I'd go on like a quest to find Atlantis. That's it's under there somewhere.
Okay.
I am the Sahara.
12 light years, whatever way.
12 light years in any direction.
Yeah.
Any direction?
Yeah.
What's your favorite direction first?
Straight
Damn. Damn, I can't take that one. Alright.
That would be
So you're
cool.
going straight up. I guess I'll have to go straight which way?
Whatever way you want.
Yeah, I think any way you go
Yeah.
is
You're gonna
great.
find something.
Right.
In
My straight's
space,
kind of like
in
You'd
this.
still be
space, there
out
is
in
no up or
space.
down, my friend.
You'd still be out in space, even if you went through the center of the Earth.
But, yeah, from Earth.
What is direction direction in space anyway. So
That's what I'm
it doesn't
saying. So
matter.
once you get there,
That's
there's
all.
no direction, but
You wanna go that way? Or...
There's no Google Maps.
Okay, I got one.
That's the best part.
So you could
Crystal,
leave your
I
phone
just
behind.
got one, and see if this resonates. I could see doing something like this. What if you had the ability to be right here, go inside yourself, match up with the place on the inside of you that's the so-called external place, realize that it's all right inside here, and then go to it in such a way that, like we're here right now in real 3D, what if you could go to the middle of the entire cosmos right now, into this spot where if you were there, it was like you're the one that has the microphone and everyone has to listen if something gets said from this spot. If you're brave enough to go there, we know that the words matter for everyone everywhere, and that's how much we honor it. It just is what it is. If you go there and you say it, it happens. Would you go to that spot and say anything to everybody everywhere?
When I had something good enough to say. For sure. I don't have anything good
The
enough to
first
say.
thing.
Don't give it no stress.
What was the advice?
Don't give it no stress.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, that'd be a lot of pressure.
That would
Yeah.
be.
But
But I would go there to
Yeah.
see what other people are saying.
Well, you've already felt it. It's been reverberated out through forever. It's just like every single thing that's part of it you are already. So you already know.
I know what I know.
Right?
That's as much as I know.
It's pretty much everything. Tap down in there somewhere because it's all inside, right?
it just keeps showing up and unfolding. Like, I don't know, it's different every day.
It's exciting that way, right?
It's fun.
I love how we're getting all these dragonflies showing up outside for us.
are they?
Yeah. All right, what else? Let's talk about another question. We've already gone through all that. Did everybody have anything else they wanted to? Kelly,
What's up?
what do you want to do if you could leave tomorrow and go do anything anywhere?
He told
Yeah,
us.
the Hague.
Oh, you already told from over here.
Yeah,
I'm like landing you over there and thinking he hasn't said yet.
the Hague. Yeah, I'm the weirdo of the bunch.
What is
It's
that?
all good.
So it's a big major international law thing. It deals with like the International Criminal Court. I think there's a university there. It's well renowned in international law stuff. So I haven't really studied too much into it. I just know it's a place a lot of people go. So it's like, all right, well, let's go there and see what they have.
What else would we? Okay, so let's have another. What was another one of our questions?
Yeah, me too.
Hey, I have a question for us. What's can you think of a time when you met somebody, you immediately knew the judgments you were placing on them, even though you don't want to place judgments on people, and then how quickly you were shown the complete opposite of that thing? Have you guys ever had that thing happen? Where you met someone and you're just like, oh, you're like one of those, and then all of a sudden you're like, holy cow, you're that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People have surprised me before, but if there's like an extreme aversion, usually that exists for a reason. Now about judgments though, there are times where I'll meet somebody and I'll feel judgment, and then I have to confront why that judgment exists, and then that's
Oh, so you feel compelled to confront it?
yeah,
Because
it's
it's-
like in myself.
Right,
Because it's
inside
like
yourself.
I was like, okay, why is whatever it is off-putting? And I can say all the reasons that my ego thinks like, well, they suck for this reason. But really, it's like there's something within me that I have an issue with that these people are showing me. And so I'm grateful when judgments show up.
Yeah.
Is that Braden coming in right now? Tell him to come on down.
I feel like it's happened where I've been disappointed. Like, oh, you're that.
Yeah, no, I know that one's one that's constant for all of us. I'm talking about like the complete like, hey, well look how judgmental I just was, and wow, you just added so much value in my life. This is the norm. The reason I'm asking is because this is just like a norm in my life on an everyday basis right now. Constantly, I'm not judging anymore. I'm just saying it started like that. Now it's like I am aware that I'm already mitigating my judging as I'm doing it. You know, like I'm looking at it with such equanimity that I know that it's me that I'm looking at, and I know every moment's instructive and every person is my teacher, that all the things outside of me are actually the things that I need the most right now. Grab it. Ray Ray. Everyone in the whole, oh, you're here? Oh, we're downstairs at James.
Hey, man.
Buddy, how you doing? Good to see you. See you too. What's the plan for tonight?
Oh, 36 minutes.
Like
36, 46 in here.
We're just getting together, enjoying space. We're asking each other some questions about life.
Oh, jeez. I already had a therapy session.
King Hill, yeah. You got it. Hey,
It's good seeing you.
No, you're not.
no, Ken.
Oh, Ken. Okay, perfect. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, this is not my place.
Okay, you were just so like here. I was like, oh yeah, it's totally yours.
Ray, so you're on the, okay.
It's
just
so much fun.
Yeah.
You guys want all that cider? And I'll sit on the
Alright,
bench.
love you, buddy.
Because I feel bad sitting by myself on that thing, because it's huge.
Oh, yeah. Are you really getting out?
Alright, Nick.
Dude, you look so cozy, bro.
I'll steal it.
You will not regret it.
I will not regret it. Okay. Oh yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, it is pretty cozy.
Yeah, there are your faces there.
Okay.
What's your name? Cam. Nice to meet you, man.
I'm Jamie.
Kelly, how much longer on your setup?
Not too much longer.
Not too much longer. Okay, so like 17 minutes, 7 minutes, 1 minute,
10 tops, probably.
10 tops. Okay.
Set
Why
up
don't
a full
we do?
studio?
So okay, so what were you guys
We could
gonna?
still
Should we,
ask the same question we used to.
let's do.
Okay, let's go.
Should we give them a heads up on what we're doing, or should we just keep?
Yeah, trial by fire. Throw us in.
Oh,
Okay.
keep asking me.
Okay, are you guys open for any single question we ever ask? You're live online right now.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't care.
Okay.
Hey, you get me
There's
started
nothing
with
to
the
be
podcast.
afraid
There's
already.
nothing to be afraid of.
If you could, or well, we all answered this question. If you could go or do anything you wanted to do, or visit, or as soon as even tomorrow, what would you do, or where would you go?
Ooh, I would go to Morocco. Yeah. I want to go see the culture there and obviously eat the food. That's a must.
I would go to Japan. That has been the goal since forever.
Bro, I guess we're gonna have to go up on a nice jet together or something. 'Cause
See,
that's
that-
what I chose to.
That's what
Really?
I'm saying. Hey, get your diving
Can we
license.
stay
and we'll
for
go see
at
that
least
together.
a month?
Exactly.
Can we stay at least 1 month?
Exactly. See,
Month
that's
to
my
6
thing. I'm
weeks
gonna
would
go out
probably be a
there.
good Japan trip, right?
What's that?
A month to 6 weeks, something
6
like
weeks
that.
is ideal.
See,
I
I'd
think
like
that.
3 months minimum. Like,
If
I
you
want
want
to
to
go
learn
there
the
for
culture,
so
you want to learn the
long.
language and stuff, then at
Exactly.
least 3 months.
Exactly. See, I would live there too. Like, I just want to go there, see if it's all what it is cracked up to be. Just experience it. I'm a traveler. I love going everywhere.
Nice. Yeah, what a great one. I guess we just bonded, bro. Are we pretty much gonna go out in the garage?
It's been a long
Afterwards?
time. But familiar face.
What's that?
So it's been a while. But familiar.
I know, yeah, I recognize you. And so, okay, what would you do?
Say again?
What else would we go?
Morocco.
Oh, you said Morocco.
Yeah.
You said, oh, we're done with that now.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go on to this. Ashton thought we should do this other question. What are still some of our biggest fears and anxieties, and how do we cope with them?
Ooh, that's a good one.
He's really trying to bomb tonight.
We did one where it was one of the some of the biggest challenges that you faced and what you learned from them. That was an epic night.
That is a good one.
Constant from each other. But this one right here is big because isn't the reality that we're all right here in the middle, a big huge ball of love?
You would think, right?
And it would keep us, the only thing that keeps us from us is some level of fear. So if fear is dominating our life, then we just don't know what love even really exists right then.
That's a good
So
point.
you're either just fear or love. So,
See which one you're running towards first.
but what are we afraid of? Because we all have these little tiny little things until we don't have them anymore. So what are we all experiencing? There's no wrong answers here.
Afraid
This
of
is a
not
COZSNUG
living
night
up
where
to
there's literally no wrong answer. It's just like it's your raw experience, so we can all learn from it.
Whose expectations?
My own. I always put a lot of pressure on things I do, and if it's not always perfect, it's like, well, I'm gonna be anal and hyperfixate on it a little bit longer to make sure it is.
Got you. You like intentionality, don't you?
What's that?
I love how you love intentionality, bro.
Oh yeah, if you're not intentionally acting in a specific manner, then you're just reacting to everything around you.
Better to listen to learn than listen to react. And whenever I say that so many different times, and I've heard so many times people say, well, I don't listen to react, I listen to respond.
That's good stuff.
And now let me just address that for 1 second.
No.
If I say, I don't listen to react, well, let me say the whole original statement again then. I think that we could learn to be listening to learn instead of listening to respond.
Listening to understand versus listening to reply.
If full on understanding. Like, why is this message for me right now?
Yeah.
So it's a full accountability way of receiving instead of resisting information.
Well, I would take that a step further because I think understanding is a relative term. I cannot understand someone who's in a completely different position than me. So the way I would take it is listen to accept. I think when we react, it's usually fear-based or anxiety-based. So listen to accept whatever that person is giving you without judgment, right? Even if you don't understand it. Because I think oftentimes when we respond quickly, it's because we don't understand. And that's the trap I fall in. I'm like, oh, I get you. And I'm like, never mind. You finished that sentence and now I don't get you.
Right?
Yeah.
You are such a spaz like I am.
It's like trying to over-understand. Or over-relate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, easy. We came in yangers. We came in like, I know what happened.
Yeah, then I usually get yelled at for not knowing what's going on actually.
Weird.
All right, so who wants to start this off?
Hey, we gotta pick one. These are all such good things. You know, like there's really only a few fears, right? When it really comes down to it, like you're afraid of
Like the
death.
core ones.
Yeah, everything stems from that. There's things that you can like. I just fear this specific thing happening, circumstance, but it comes down to like, are you afraid to die? Are you afraid to be alone? Are you afraid to be or not be accepted? You know, and so many other things just like stem from that. So acceptance is tough, dude, because you can like accept certain things. I'm gonna reach the limit.
Exactly,
Let's
yeah.
say, hypothetically.
To try to get true acceptance, where it's like, yeah, I can accept most of it, and that thing still doesn't happen the way you want it to. It still just hits you.
Or like the government starts imposing crazy laws, and you're like, okay, well, it's a law, so I accept that. But you don't really have a choice whether you do or not because people are just like, you know, do you know any copies? You know?
Well, they haven't caught me yet, so.
Jesus. Well, I think that's something people are afraid of, is how much they actually have the ability to choose. But every choice comes with a consequence, right? So you can break the law, and then you get repercussion. So if you're going to go against whatever is accepted, you have to have a damn good reason to do it, and the consequence has to be worth it, you know? And I think that's where a lot of fear does lies, and the consequences of our own choice.
Exactly.
It's not worth it to go against the flow.
Because we've already known how much trauma we've caused to ourselves in the past, and we're just like not willing to go back and self-sabotage the same way we have before because it was so bad. It was just so paralyzing. It was so no, I never want that again. Never.
Well, and the expectation that the next situation is going to be the same as the last, even though you've already gone through it, so you got the experience, you know. So you're not going through it the same way. You're going to be going through a similar, identical situation, but
with new
you're
experience
going
already
through it with
into
more capability of overcoming it.
Exactly.
Until you realize that, you become the self-fulfilling prophecy like he was talking about.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You have a fake right next to you.
Yours are better.
Mine
I
died.
understand that. You make bad decisions.
Thank you! Thank you!
Sorry.
He always picks the shittiest flavors. Except for this one. I can get on board with this one.
Yeah, it's fried right now.
Well, that's true, but that's not the flavor's fault.
Fears and anxieties. Yeah, it's also interesting to think about. Like, yeah.
What's one of yours? Man.
My instinct was to say that I had a fear of abandonment. Yes. But I don't struggle with that as much anymore.
You're mostly worked through that?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can
we're
so
totally
empathize with that.
Yeah.
My whole entire life felt from birth I've been abandoned.
Yeah.
I'm a natural father. I looked him up when I was 33. I was the one who looked him up. Yeah.
So then
I can empathize with that all the way.
So either of you, how do you feel like you've worked through that? Because I definitely can relate to that fear. And I'm definitely not like over it, as you just said, like not in that process.
I don't think that I'm totally over it.
Well, of course not. I didn't
you know,
say that,
but I've like really learned how to really love myself in the last couple of years, and
That's
like
key.
respect myself and be enough for me, and I'll always have me, even in my darkest days. You know, and there's been nights, really, really hard, really dark nights that I've spent alone. Have you ever talked to yourself in the mirror?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's been nights where I'm like, oh, I wish I could talk to my friends. Oh, I wish I could talk to this person. And then one night I was sitting there and I'm like, wait, what would they say? Like, what is it that I'm wanting to hear from these people? So then I like pick up this mirror and I sit in my bed and I talk to myself, okay? And I gave myself such good advice and it just, you know, I think that's how I've like healed from those things.
That's boss. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
You also just planned yourself this badass trip down to tell everybody what you just did for yourself as the very thing.
I went and saw my baby nephews for 4 days in Arkansas, and that was so fun. And then I went to Atlanta to a hotel takeover, and it was wild.
It's a hotel takeover.
It was wild. Okay.
I'm surprised you
So
alone
much
lost
Well,
that
I
question.
was giving the chance.
You were giving the chance? What chance?
It was so fun.
What'd you think of Atlanta?
It was fun. It was good. It was like my least favorite part of the trip, if I'm being honest. Like between like my nephews, and then I spent 6 days alone in southern Florida.
That's awesome.
And I was in Fort Lauderdale, and I went and saw the Everglades and the alligators.
Did you just
Oh,
go
yeah.
because you wanted to go to Florida or what?
I was gonna be there anyways. Like I was going to Atlanta with my friend Brian, so I like tagged on a few days before,
Oh, wow.
tagged on a few days after, and it was so fun.
Atlanta to Florida's
I
like
went-
what, 6 hours?
What?
Atlanta to Florida's like 6 hours?
Yeah, something like
No,
that.
Atlanta to Florida.
9.
Oh, driving?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 8 or 9, but I totally went to a nude beach, guys.
Oh, yeah?
Nice.
I feel like that'd be a
Guys.
miserable
Did
experience.
anyone
you finally did a nude beach thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like 10 out of 10 would recommend swimming in the ocean, butt naked. 10 out of 10. Okay,
It's
guys.
just a mermaid.
I was like, I live here now. I'm not leaving. And I just stay in the water like the majority of the time
You
by
are
myself.
such a mermaid, man.
Oh,
You're such a
This made
mermaid.
me so happy.
And dude, the
Yeah.
water in Florida is actually warm, so you can actually do it.
It was so nice.
Yeah. Can
Yeah.
you tell me? Please tell me you did it under the moon, though.
I did it under the moon because the waves scare me at
Okay,
night.
that's valid. You know
Like,
what?
it's
I
a
can
lot.
respect
Well,
that.
wait a minute. Most people, the way you described earlier to me, your experience, when you like, okay, in the picture you painted,
Yeah.
it's like this ominous, like
It
the
was
most
scary.
contrasted, scary sky. It's raining on you right now. Describe it the way you did to me and tell
Like,
me what you
It
experienced.
was my last day, and I wanted to get in the ocean one more time, so I forced myself in the rain.
Mhm.
And I went out there, and there was no one on the beach, and there was no one in the water, and like the sky, guys, was just unlike anything I've ever seen. It was like black and gray, and then there was a hole in the clouds, and it was like blue sky, and it was so beautiful. And it started to rain on the waves that I was floating in. Oh my gosh, you guys.
Sure you were just in a hurricane?
Yeah, right? Like, that's what
It's
no one was
like,
out
the
there.
whole
I
sky
know,
is decided
I
to
know.
run.
I didn't go too far out, but like, and then I proceeded to like cry in the rain,
As you
in
should
the
though.
ocean.
Yes.
And it wasn't even sad tears, it wasn't happy tears, like it felt like a mixture of all of the tears and the healing. Yeah. And I just felt this immense, like, feeling of love for myself and respect for myself. And I was proud of myself for making it to that very moment, you know,
So
and keeping myself safe and doing what I had to do.
It's so beautiful.
It was really cool.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
It's like there is power in vulnerability.
Yeah.
That you have experienced, what I've watched in you, Mandy, it's what I'm watching in all of us. We're all actually empowering ourselves by saying we're going to empower our empathy, because now you got actual empowerment. The world offers up massive amounts of false empowerment everywhere. Look at what most people think empowerment is.
Yeah.
True strength is light. And the light always illuminates every ounce of darkness.
Yeah.
If you're in any ounce of darkness, then you don't have empowerment. None. It's false. So what's it like to access true strength? True strength of character comes when we're folding in on the side of ourselves. Folding in, folding in, folding in, folding in, folding in. Remind myself, keep folding in, because there's nothing external that's going to heal me. It's impossible. That's why every Wednesday night we do our Edges night and we show people how to heal themselves live right here in the now. Here's how you heal yourself.
Start.
It works.
Just gotta show up for yourself first.
That's so good. Thank you for saying that.
So good.
It's cool that you've been doing this, Ashton. Been trying to make it out here. Finally got moved back to Utah.
Yeah, I'm so glad you can come.
Yeah, I'm glad to see it keep running. I saw you started up a little while ago.
Yeah,
I think I came to one of the first
Yeah,
ones,
you
like the sound
Yeah,
of
you
your
did.
big gong.
Yeah.
That's where you're familiar. Yeah,
The
okay.
gong is in there. Yes.
Yes,
In the room.
yes. And I'm like, okay, I definitely need to get back to that. But then we moved, and then it's like, okay, we'll catch you when we come back. And it's been a roller coaster since.
Yeah.
We moved to Portland. Definitely a vibe change from Utah, but
A good vibe change.
yeah, it was everything everyone said it was that I didn't believe it would be. It was like the most beautiful state that I've ever been to, and like I thought I would miss my mountains, and I did. But it's like hilly enough out there. You know, they don't got like big boulders like we do, but it's just not flat plains like you would expect it. And it's just incredible.
Yeah, you got mountains up there too.
Yeah.
Like with
Yeah, you got like Mount Rainier and like what's the big one? In,
Mount St. Helens?
okay,
Can you
smart
just say
ass.
it?
The one like southeast, the big the
He literally just
snowboarding
said it
desert.
like 3 times.
Oh,
What?
thank you. Appreciate you.
Did you? Mount Hood.
So many times.
I didn't hear him.
It's okay, I got you. I'll be your
Yes.
Goofy ass.
It was incredible though, because we moved to like this, just like diamond in the rough out there, and it was like we started off like an Airbnb, but then Sweet talked them into like let us doing like an extended like rental situation, and it was cool. It was like this little forest retreat, like 5 minutes from downtown Portland, all the busyness of the city,
Nice.
and then you just take this little mountain road, and it's like this urban forest. You open the door and you're walking out into the forest. And
I love how there's so much diversity of the landscape like that.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Portland, you can be like in any kind of setting so fast.
I hated it at first because we got there and it was just nothing but gray clouds and rain.
Mm.
And like that's the season, right? But
And it's
once
beautiful.
it gets on you when you
Thank
never
you.
see the sun. It's a thing. Like Utah's a desert state. You would go up under the sun and then you move somewhere where 80% of the time it's cloud coverage and you don't get the sun anymore. I'm like,
We start to get affected by that. We need
Exactly.
a little bit to get
It
our,
took-
because what happens when you have the sun, it just starts adding.
well, we're just big flowers, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly, yeah.
Like, well, actually mushrooms, but
All of it.
I'm gonna go grab a drink now.
I'm sure, thank you.
Does anyone else
Is
want
there
one?
a dog?
Yeah, I was gonna see if you guys wanted me to bring it.
Yes.
You wanted me to turn?
Oh, what? I didn't know puppies were allowed. I got 5 to bring in.
No, Lord, no.
What? You don't miss Ragnar?
We could see Ragnar somewhere else, but the thought of Ragnar here stresses me out.
Oh, I think it would just light up Jason's tail.
That is a cute dog. What breed is it?
She's a Malamute Wolf German Shepherd.
Damn. So you have the highest energy dog like ever to exist.
I
fine. You can tell me
Oh, Stella.
Wait,
That's just
how
beautiful.
old is she?
She's like,
She's 9 or 9 months? Okay. Do
Get off,
women
down,
have
down,
the more stamina they build?
no, get off there, Stella. Off, Stella.
Fast enough.
I honestly, I take it.
For like maybe like.
That is so fun.
But it's like maybe like, you know, not technically.
She is so
She loves
cute.
the desert.
You
Do
guys
you have any other dogs or just her?
No, it's just her.
That's a high energy dog. Good for you for maintaining that.
Yeah, exactly. It takes a lot.
That's a lifestyle right
Yeah,
there.
it
Yeah.
really is. It's like, it's hard because like I've been working 12-hour shifts and yeah, going from 10 hours even, she's just been adjusting for sure.
Yeah. Hi, baby girl. I know, I smell like so many dogs.
Oh my gosh, she stopped in her tracks.
What's her name?
Stella.
Stella. That's
She's a lover. She's such a cuddle buddy.
She is so pretty.
Oh my god,
Who
that
else
was her
has-
face.
Who else has a something they want to share about like an actual fear that they just feel like? Or, you got one, Cam?
I'm thinking on
You know, I used to
Here,
really
Spencer,
hold-
shut that door. Sorry, James.
I don't care.
Okay.
Oh yeah, she'll just slip around up there. So.
Hi, baby.
Just down here.
I honestly used to just hold anxiety in general. Like, I used to be anxious almost all the time, just about the future. I was always thinking I could predict the future. And just always being worried about it. Something going wrong, and thinking I could control the future, control the outcome of anything.
Control everything that happens
Control,
around
yeah,
you.
yeah. So, really, I just had to learn to let go of that. I really just recently got over the last bits of fear and anxiety I really had. So now, even the last couple of days, I've really been reading so easy.
What's something you got over recently?
You want to tell them what we just did, Ash, or is that something we want to keep?
I'm learning how to stand on my head, and
Hey, same man, dude. It's
Yeah.
weird how much peace it brings you.
it brings you so much peace. And Ken and I, we went on the deck just the other day, yesterday, 2 days ago.
Yesterday.
We went and stood our heads, and we just
On the
decided
hard-
we were just
on the
gonna
hard
sit there
deck.
until we just could possibly until we died, and until we collapsed.
See, I'm not crazy. It was the people that do.
It was amazing. It was a beautiful experience. It really
We had never done this before, so
Yeah.
first of all,
We didn't
I have
do
been
this.
watching Ashton do standing on his head now for the last months and months.
Yeah,
And I'm like, there's no possible way that I could outlast him. There's
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
I just no possible way because he's been training constantly and he's strong and I'm getting strong in all these other areas, but I haven't done this yet. And so
it's a muscle you have to build.
it's like, yeah, all of a sudden when you start inverting everything, putting pressure on it, you're like, what? It goes that fast?
Well, that's what's crazy is because like you've never done that before. So like all of your body's muscles that you use to stabilize you are meant to work from the top down, right? And when you go from bottom up, it's like you learn how to like move your core differently and how to keep it aligned. You learn like center
that
of
whole
gravity.
body movement from
like,
the core. Yeah, exactly.
I feel that, man. Like I've been talking to you about that forever, man.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
a lot changed at EDC. Like when it was so noisy, all I needed was quiet, and there was no chance of it. The only way I got that was doing the stuff that you guys are doing, is doing all of the like calisthenics and the bodybuilding and the free balancing. This is like, it's crazy how much peace it actually brings you to like make your body capable in different ways.
I am curious though, and you can say like you're not comfortable sharing this, but was the movement itself a fear for you, or was it the stillness that was the fear? Like the being still, like being so concentrated. You know what I'm saying?
Really, it ended up kind of coming down to this fear of death that I had.
Okay, tell me
I
more.
wasn't able to completely let go. Ken said he outlasted me because we were in this total love spiral where we were just ready to just stay in this extremely, painful, not that painful, but
No, that shit hurts.
Well, no, wait, for me, don't say it. I mean, well, I'll speak my part. It was damn painful.
Thank you. Yes, I'm
It
not
was
alone in that.
extremely painful, and I had to actually learn how to mitigate out over time because I said, I don't know.
Yeah.
Ashton wants to stay here, and I think he wants to know that I'll die for him right now. I guess I have to make a decision to die for him. Here we go. And I started saying to Ashton, I was like, here you are, buddy, and this is kind of hurting and whatever, but I'm here. I got it. And then I finally said some things like, okay, I finally hear you, now I finally know that I'll stay here forever now.
That's
And
the
I was
mine's gonna
that's
trigger you to
serious.
quit before you
I
actually
felt like I would do it if I needed to. And I did right then for Ash. And his body, my experience was it was interesting. His body, like all of a sudden right next to me, we're on our heads, and it just goes, spunk. It like didn't have like a dunk. It was just like the whole thing went collapse. In a loud collapse, and like the whole thing thudded at the same time. I was like, what? I tried to stay up. I'm like, oh. I stayed up, and I was like, okay. And then I got to choose whatever I wanted from that point because I just outlasted Ash. That was a beautiful experience. One of the most bonding and beautiful experiences of my entire life. Do that.
Something scary happened today. But it wasn't scary until right after it happened. I fell off the ladder.
Today.
A tall ladder, a orchard ladder, so it just like split open like that. And it was, I didn't really have a first thought because it was just reaction. I completely surrendered to the fall. And if I didn't do that, I would have broke my arm. I landed, like the ladder went out from under me, and I was like, well, here's a fall, and just like went limp and landed.
That's
fucking
key
perfect.
though.
I love it.
It still hurt, and I was freaked out. I mean, it was like full adrenaline rush.
I had the same thing.
You know, I was like, is there another timeline where like my arm's fucked up right now because I didn't surrender? And it was, I don't know.
Well, I love the way you say surrender, because that can be applied in like a spiritual sense too. You know?
Yeah, it's the number one word we use. Yeah.
It's called surrender. We call it the surrender land.
I love that.
Yeah, because there's like surrender, some kind of resistance, right? Like,
Yes.
culturally we think of it as giving up or giving in, and it's like something you don't want to do, and right? But and look at all the things that happen to us as different forms of pressure. You're moving us towards or away something. Just surrendering to that process is being informed. You know, whenever we're not surrendering, we're trying to control or manipulate something. The outcomes aren't always like what we want them to be. And in surrender, without having an expectation of what the outcomes are, it ends up being better than you could have imagined. You know?
That's
it's
the
like
key.
Yeah.
Yes. I love it.
That's a good perspective.
Well, the way you just said, you just like hit me in my soul, bro. Like you just slapped me the fuck out of me. The way you were like, society says that is giving up, and I am such a stubborn asshole that if something doesn't go my way, I'm like, I gotta do it, right? And so I view I guess for me, I'm not religious but I'm spiritual, so I view surrendering to the universe or surrendering to nature as like me giving up, you know. And you just called me out so hard on that.
Oh,
so
you
thank
were
you for saying
tying
that.
the word surrender to giving up.
Yeah, which you was talking about how society can attribute those things, right? But really it's getting in alignment and getting in flow. And I didn't realize where that resistance was until you said, that made me have a light bulb moment where I was like, oh, I just feel like I'm giving up, you know? So thank you for sharing that. Like that vulnerability really helped me.
Thank you for being willing to share your little aha moment just now.
Yeah, of course. I mean, listen, I love when people give those moments. It means the world to me.
Kelly, it looks like that stuff's moving a little bit. The camera stuff moved, it looks like.
Yeah, it's been moving here and there. Sorry, guys.
Everybody's getting a feel for that music before it comes on.
Yeah,
Oh, bro. Like, are you ready to go over there?
pretty much. I just need to check levels,
So,
make sure things are working.
We're gonna start to shift here sometime soon. We can keep the conversation going as long as we want to first. But Kelly's gonna kill some music. Does anybody else have something that they feel compelled to share right now when it comes to fear? Like a fear that they're having, or anybody want help with any kind of fear that they're having right now? Or we're all here for each other.
The fear that I had today was showing up to this.
Okay?
What were you afraid of?
People that I know for years, not knowing what's going to happen. And just not knowing if I wanted to show up and not knowing what's going to happen. And it's like, well, yeah, I could use that to keep me from missing more and more and more. And it's like, you know, it's more important to reconnect with those things and see it all again and just be here than it is to worry about what may happen and just show up. Me too. That's
Wow,
right.
you just came, yeah.
I didn't know if I was coming to do some yoga with you or balance on my head. I'm up for it. Just let me know. That's what I love, man. You picked that up too. I was like, okay. Alright. I'm not the only crazy person.
Yeah, baby.
Come here, sweetie.
She's such a cuddler.
You just need some love.
Yeah, our dogs are gonna hate us when we get home there.
Who's the strange dog you guys are loving on?
You shed so
You know,
much.
That was so good. What? Yeah. What about you?
Not enough.
You're not?
Dude, I was literally at a client's house up until the moment I showed up here. Like,
Yeah.
I was on a last minute run to finish a production of this t-shirts that they were doing. That are by market branding. That was another one that in the midst of worrying if, bills are gonna get paid, you meet some random face that turns out to be the best connection you can meet.
Right.
Those are the days that make the shitty ones worth it.
Yeah, that's kind of funny you say that. It's kind of funny how like life brings people into our life, right?
Oh.
Connections.
And at the time you need it too. Like when you can be like, everything's done, I'm done. All right, one more day of this shit, I'm checking out, and it's just like that next day, everything changes. And it's like, shit. Okay, I see that. It was not as serious as I thought it was. You're just trying to joke on me now. It's like, okay, it gets better. It gets better. I'm just gonna see how long it takes for you to believe in that more than just know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, everything just goes according to however we move our beliefs around.
Yeah. Kind of funny how time changes environments.
Right?
And you, and your perspective.
Oh yeah.
Just the vibration. If you're vibrating receptive versus resistant in any given moment, in my experience, it's very different. It's so different that you're like, oh wait, I'm awake right now versus not, or I'm aware of the fact that I can be aware of myself thing versus not. It's just so basic, and like right now, life's happening to me or for me.
Well, like this night is like the perfect example of that, Like I've known Ashton for years now. I've been in this house in the same spot 100 different times in different situations, and this is like nothing that I ever expected it would be. Sitting here a year ago, 2 years ago, it's like, okay, I've been here, I know what's gonna happen, right? And then
The way she's
Oh, so you came in
She
judging?
knows.
You're trying to say
She
you came
feels
in?
it.
You're trying to say you came in here judging before you even came in?
oh God, judgment has never been on my mind being here. But that's what I mean, and it's like you can feel like you know something, you know an environment, you know what's gonna happen in this situation, right? But you show up and it's a few new faces and a few old ones, and it's a different vibe, different energy.
Mm.
It's healing, it's better, it's communicative, it's the same tribe, but it's a different path. You know what I'm saying?
Same tribe, different vibe.
I love it.
I like
That's
that.
beautiful.
Ooh,
That's a shirt.
We've heard that before, haven't we?
That is
Guess what? It's a song.
Is it?
Or is it what?
It's got like catchy.
Oh, it's
That's what I'm saying. Is like, is that thing? I'll trademark it.
Yeah, that's a good.
I do feel like we veered away from your comment. Did you have an experience that you wanted to share, or no?
No, I mean, that's kind of like, I started just writing that one day, honestly. I'm just kind of like, really, I think it's just interesting, honestly, how people kind of come into our life. Like, it's just like you said,
Yeah.
It's the right moment, right time, and right challenge sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because some people offer more challenges, I guess, but
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
everyone that's standing next to you is a friend.
yeah.
Well, I'd like to say something about that because I know that. It's obvious that some people, when they're looking at you, they're not looking at you receptive. They're looking at you resistantly, and then they start to talk. And you're like, this feels like daggers.
Yeah.
I don't like this. You don't look at me with dignity. And I don't feel loved. That's why we are doing everything we're doing right now. We've spent our whole lives not having people look around at us with dignity.
That's a good thing.
That's why we wrote the Universal Declaration of Inclusivity. Because inclusivity and relatability had to hit the world. We didn't have that puzzle piece yet. We had disparate little parts of it, but We need universal language to say, hey, here's a real simple way to be an inclusive thing. We've been talking about diversity for a long time, and it's divisive by its nature.
Exactly.
So we are now in a new day and age where we're going to just start walking inclusively. So there's already a curriculum put together. It's so easy.
The
It's
universal
called Empowering
language.
Empathy. It's a curriculum that's just, you walk through it and it just shows you how to be a empowered thing. Walking around and seeing everybody as your equal. No more I'm better than everybody else, because you are. You got skills nobody else has, you got experience somebody else has, but go receptive all of a sudden and just watch what happens in your life. I'm going to start vibrating receptive. That's why I got to surrender that, because we need to learn how to be present. So we get vibrations going, we use some guided, we use all the things. What's the most efficient and effective way you can get yourself present? Because until you're there, in my experience, you're only claiming to be relatable, and yet I can see the daggers coming out of your eyes at me when you're claiming to be relatable. So I call bullshit, and now I'm going to spit better words back out to say, now how do we all benefit from this? What if we were to all right now take a big deep breath, get ourselves nice and calm. It takes like a minute or two, it's no big deal, just practice breathing for a second, go to the ocean for a second, lay in the water and let the water take it all away for a second and be one with it. As soon as you get in that river, you're one with it after that threshold. Now you're relatable. That's where relating starts. What we've been trying to do is relate in a world where we didn't know the concept really, because we weren't collectively doing it, because we don't have collective trust. So now there's a little bit of collective trust, and now we just need to keep love emerging. Because that light that we are, the flame inside has already been started up. I mean, look around, what's happening. I never had these kind of conversations before in my life. We're in an exclusive world that only knew. Nosotros somos los misioneros de la iglesia de Jesucristo y queremos compartir un mensaje con ustedes.
I was not expecting that.
Or from my buddy Brian Andrus in Texas. ¿Cómo está, hermano? Nosotros somos los misioneros de la iglesia de... No hablamos inglés. No estoy tratando de hablarte en inglés. Estoy tratando de hablarte en español.
Is anyone Spanish speaking? Would you?
They
I
get
can understand you and speak it.
See, that's a good way of
They
putting it.
get the fact that it is an actual Texas accent. It doesn't sound like anything. The lady is saying to him, I don't speak English. And he's saying, no, I'm not speaking to you in English. I'm trying to speak to you in Spanish. She's like, we don't speak English. We don't speak English. He's like,
You're speaking to all of us in Spanish.
Right.
I know. I'm trying to describe it to you now so you now know.
Okay. That's what I'm just saying. Is that hard for anyone else to understand?
Well, it's like when you
I got
find like a yoga
I got
and
it,
you need
but-
subtitles.
Hey, hi, baby. It's okay.
She demands attention.
She is barking because I'm not petting her.
Yeah. She
Yeah,
smacked
okay.
the phone.
I understand.
It's a dire situation.
It's nice to have somebody else to give her some love for a
You don't
second.
need to
I'm
bark.
like,
You don't need to bark.
No, honestly, like I'll be sitting there like.
She's such a sweet baby.
She's like 8 or 9, I think. I don't know, a month or a year.
Wait.
Years.
I said the same.
You aren't
She
talkative.
honestly, she stayed like 6 or 7 in my life for a couple of years. But that's why I'm like, I think she's better now.
Just love on you. Just love on you.
No, I got her when she was a pup. But
Kelly, you ready
it's
to...
just so long ago. Like, I just gotta look back on it actually.
We're gonna try to record it and stuff. We need to see if
We're going to turn everything around and we'll put in the camera in a different way so that it's like capturing you and everything.
Okay.
Or just put it in a... Wait, where is this spot?
We could
Maybe
put
right back up behind, yeah.
Yeah, put the camera like right up here. I was thinking of putting Ashton's laptop right here so we can try to.
Yeah, feel free to use whatever you need, bro.
We should probably plug it in so it doesn't die either.
Plug in everything you need, move it wherever you need. Just do everything you want.
What?
I know, it's so sad.
Let's see the progress actually.
What's it attached to?
Yeah, it could actually move, unless it has to be hooked up to other stuff as well.
Oh, he's getting serious. He's getting everything out of the
Take all my
pocket.
stuff.
Ashton, it might be better to actually be coming from over here with the camera.
Okay,
Do we
yeah.
have to set up the laptop right over here then?
Or what about over here?
Oh,
Unless you have a super
I like the idea of
super
the
super
camera.
long
No,
one.
we need to be there because we want to record it. We're gonna leave it there. That'll be
You gotta,
fine.
oh, so you be able to hear it?
Yeah, because we want to record.
Then let's
through
break.
that.
Let's put the extension cord on there, Ash, and we'll put the camera here facing that way.
No, we need it. We don't have an extension cord for a USB, so we need to be here.
Oops. Here, you should probably you should probably stop the OBS. You should probably stop OBS.
Yeah, I mean, we'll